chat, Reg J is here, and it's frickin' wild, if I do say so myself. So, Regulation J has been announced, and it does include Mythicals, which is so wild, which is so wild. We're gonna jump into Cerebi, we're gonna take a look at everything. I'm kinda gonna break some stuff down because Reg J may not be what you think it is. And when I say Reg J may not be what you think it is, I mean Reg J is going to be on ladder. We will have Mythicals on the ranked Scarlet and Violet ladder. However, are you going to Pittsburgh? Are you playing in a official Pokemon tournament? That will be Regulation H. So, for the official Pokemon Video Game Championships, for the official VGC rule set, we will have Regulation H. But we will have no place in-game ladder, no official in-game ladder to practice Reg H. For the in-game ladder, we are getting Regulation J. And in Regulation J, we see here, can you see? Yes, okay. Running September 1st to January 4th. So we do have it for a minute. You know, we have it for the 4 months, right? September, October, November, December. Yes, we have it for the 4 months. And it will be, you can use 2 restricted Pokemon, but now your restricted includes a mythical. So here are the newly usable Pokemon, here are the Mythicals that you can now use, and so here we see all the restricted Pokemon, right? So every team can have 2. Every team can have 2. So, you know, you can use Manaphy and Darkrai. You can use, Hoopa and Solgaleo. You can use whatever 2 combination you would like. And here's what I'm gonna say. We haven't played with Mythicals in a official, like, a doubles format, I believe, since the very last format in Sword and Shield. I'm gonna call it Series 13, but I could be wrong, so please feel free to correct me if I am wrong. And in Series 13, there were no official tournaments played in Series 13. So, like, no official VGC tournaments were existing in Series 13. However, that is what was on ladder, but there was a difference. Series 13, believe it or not, if you didn't play Series 13, Series 13 was a truly anything goes format. You could use 6 legends, like 6 restricted legends. Like, you could use as many of whatever legend you wanted. So we don't quite have that. There are some rules on this where you can only use 2. And okay, I have so many feelings. I am gonna attempt to say them in a coherent manner here. Like, literally, I am recording this maybe 15 minutes after the news dropped. So I did try to gather myself a little bit. But, okay, so here's the first thing. I am genuinely excited to play with Mythicals. We don't get a chance to play with Mythicals very often, and I do think it's quite fun to use Pokemon we don't always have access to. However, that being said, a lot of the Mythicals are harder to obtain. So, you know, it never feels good to have a format where, and again, I know this is not the official format, but even if it's a ladder format, it never feels particularly good to have a format that has really powerful Pokemon that you may want to use that are hard to obtain, specifically also that you cannot obtain in the game that you are playing. That, to me, is just never a good feeling. You know, I want as low of a barrier as possible for people to enjoy and play VGC. And again, I'm going to be using the words VGC, even though I know this is not the official VGC format, but just for simplicity's sake, let's say, I'm going to be saying that. So, ultimately, I am excited to try some of these Pokemon. Like, we haven't used them since Sword and Shield, and if you didn't play in Sword and Shield, you maybe haven't used them in competitive Pokemon at all. I think, we get some fun Pokemon with some, like, fun moves, interesting sets, all this kind of stuff. Like, I think there's a lot of fun to be had. But my problem really lies within the going back to Reg H for official tournaments and then not having an official ladder in game to practice that. And my issue with this is two-pronged, right? Oh, I do want to show you, sorry. Just to make sure, oops, well that's off center. Hello. I do just want to show, where are we? I just want to show this real quick. Apologies that it is off center. Okay. So it does say, while Regulation Set J will be in effect for ranked battles beginning in September 2025, this September, the Video Game Championships, VGC, will be using Regulation H through the end of November. And that does, I am curious, them saying November. I am curious about this because, like, what are they cooking? What's happening in November? Like, Champions, they say, the website says Champions is not coming out until 2026. Is something gonna happen in ZA? I wouldn't think so, but what are they cooking by saying end of November? Maybe I'm reading too much into it. Like, maybe I am just so wildly thrown off by this whole announcement. I am just looking for any shred, any scrap, if you will, of excitement, of something new that I can just cling to. I can just white knuckle cling to, you know? So, that... that being said, I just wanted to show that to say, like, this information isn't just coming out of nowhere. The Reg J versus Reg H information. But to go back a little bit, I'm a Reg H believer. I've always been a Reg H believer. I've said it with my full chest. I enjoy Reg H. Chat, maybe you can let me know if I am being unreasonable. But there is something, I'm trying to look for the right words. There is something to me inherently disappointing about going back to old regulations when we could have had a new regulation. I think it all started with Reg G. I enjoy Reg G. Like, there has truly not been a single format that I've said, I don't like this format. Every format, I have found some way, I have found some team, some way to have fun. I truly have enjoyed every format. But I think it's like, okay, we have Reg G. Cool. We go to Reg H. That was so fun. That, like the two couldn't have been more different, It was so fun to change up regulations. I really enjoyed Reg H, and I thought we could have had Reg H for longer. It still felt like there was so much Reg H to explore, all that kind of stuff. So I felt like I really enjoyed Reg H, and then to just learn we're going back to Reg G for 4 months. Like, that was also a little bit of a tough pill to swallow, if you will. That was a little tough just because it's like, okay, if you wanted me to play 8 months of Reg G or 7 months of Reg G, just have me play 7 months of Reg G. Don't give me this format that's super fun, I really enjoy, wild metagame, and then just have me go back to Reg G. And it's like, okay, I can handle that. We got Reg G. I know we got Reg G for 4 months, but then we get Reg I. And honestly, Reg I has been fun. I was not the biggest Reg I believer going into Regulation I, into Double or Chicken. I have enjoyed it. I have enjoyed it way more than I thought I would. Like legitimately, I have enjoyed it. But then I was really hoping, okay, we're having Reg I Worlds, nice. I'm looking forward to that. And then I was really hoping maybe we would get what people have kind of been calling, like, Reg B plus, or like maybe we would get Reg H with the Ruinous Legends, because, we're getting the shiny Ruinous Legends. So, I was hoping, like, maybe we would have some, like, kind of change, and not just have it be not only is it a repeat old format, but now also it's a repeat old format that I have to practice, I'm practicing for if I'm going to tournaments, but then there's also no official in-game ladder to practice that. There obviously Pokemon Showdown is a fantastic way to practice. There will be both best of 3 open team sheet Reg H tours. There will be Reg H ladder tours. Like there are plenty of ways to practice. The split just feels very odd to me, and I think I am a person, I genuinely am excited about things. Like, I get excited about stuff. I feel like if you've watched my content, if you watch my streams, like, I get excited for stuff. And I like to be excited for stuff, I like to look on the bright side. I like to, like, find enjoyment in most things. But I am just feeling, like, deeply disappointed, if I'm being completely honest with you. And again, please let me know if my disappointment is just, like, wildly misplaced. I was just kind of hoping for something new. And again, Reg J is something new, and like I said, I do think it'll be fun to play with Mythicals. Like, the power level is gonna be over frickin' 9,000 over here. Magearna is gonna go, for those who may not be familiar with Magearna's game, Soul Heart boosts its special attack every time a Pokemon faints. So to be clear, that is a Pokemon on the field. That is your opponent's Pokemon. That is also your own Pokemon. Magearna also has a sick typing in the... Why can't I find it? I said a sick... Where are you? Oh, I think I cut it off. Oh my gosh, this is getting mad messed up. But Magearna's typing, Steel Fairy, is a fantastic typing. Is an absolutely fantastic typing. So, it just, like, I am excited to use these Pokemon. They're Pokemon we don't get to use very often. I think, that'll be a great time. But just officially going back to, even though I love Reg H, you can go back to any of my videos. I have always said I'm a Reg H believer. But I am just feeling profoundly disappointed, I think, just in the idea that we're just going back to another old format, and now we have a split in the official rule set, and then also the ladder rule set, which has so very rarely happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, there was one time, this is a while ago, like this is maybe in Sun and Moon, I actually can't remember, maybe Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, or something like that. No, not Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon. There was a time where the Worlds format was not the ladder format in-game, so the Worlds competitors, could not practice, like, in-game, and I am trying to think if there's been another time, like, obviously I mentioned, Series 13, but Series 13 was just, like, the only format that existed because because it was the last Sword and Shield format, and there weren't any, tournaments being played at all. So, a little bit different circumstances, because now we do have, official regional tournaments, and we will have, locals as well. So, I just wanted to hop on here a little bit, kind of get some of my thoughts out. I apologize as I hit my desk. I apologize, this feels like it was probably a little bit all over the place, but if you have thoughts, please feel free to put them in the comments down below. I will most definitely be doing some Reg J content, I will be doing some Reg H content, I might do a poll at some point, and y'all can let me know, if you have a preference, but, like, would you prefer Reg J? Would you prefer Reg H? Would you prefer a little combination of both? I don't know. I just don't know. This is a lot. This was a lot. But I am gonna end it there. If you did enjoy my little rant sesh, it felt kind of like a rant sesh, yap sesh, but if you did enjoy it, please feel free to leave a like, comment, or subscribe. If not, feel free to do none of that. I hope everybody has an absolutely amazing rest of their day, and I will catch you in the next one. Okay, bye!